Lost my dad in this, so him as my father-in-law was really important to me.
Really, it's really a little bit disturbing. Saying that, you know, she doesn't have a family and she doesn't have a father, and then Harry saying that.
Thomas Markle's son, who remains in the Philippines with his father, are very furious about Meghan's actions. They do not.
The gloves are officially off, and honey, this is not a drill. Thomas Markle Jr. just went live on social media, and what came out of his mouth has the internet on fire. No filters, no royal gloss, just years of pent-up truth exploding like a bomb. You could literally see the pain on his face as he looked straight into the camera and said words no sister ever wants to hear. The lowest of the low is what you are. His voice was trembling, his eyes wet with anger and exhaustion. For the man who gave you everything, this is how it's going to be. No calls, no texts, nothing. Let that sink in. We're talking about a daughter who hasn't spoken to her elderly father in 7 long years, not since his heart attack. 7 years of silence while Thomas Markle Sr. sits alone in a modest apartment half a world away, struggling with his health. And who's there beside him? His son, Thomas Jr., breaking his back and his bank account to care for him. Hot meals every day. Installing shower bars so he doesn't fall. Paying for massages to ease the pain. And what was Meghan doing all this time? Filming glossy Thanksgiving videos in her $11 million mansion, surrounded by candles, gold cutlery, and fake smiles. The same Meghan who once bragged about struggling at salad bars? Yeah, that one. Thomas didn't just rant, he came armed with receipts. He said their father invested more than $750,000 in Meghan private schools, tuition at Northwestern, cars, clothes, the whole 9 yards. All that so she could rise into the world like a princess. And today, not even a text asking, "Dad, how are you feeling?" It's heartbreaking because Thomas Jr. isn't just angry, he's hurt. He grew up watching his dad pour everything into Meghan's future. He remembers her nursery, a mountain of toys so high you could barely see the floor. It looked like Toys R Us exploded, he said. Princess dolls everywhere, shelves stacked with books and tapes, the kind of childhood that screams privilege. And yet, Meghan told the world she grew up poor, scraping nickels at Sizzler. Please. Thomas Jr. says it was luxury from day one. The Little Red Schoolhouse, Immaculate Heart High School, places that cost more per year than most people's cars. And who paid? Daddy. The same daddy.
Meghan boasted about being poor growing up and rubbing 2 nickels together at the Sizzler salad bar.
Oh, that's right.
She erased. While she floated through private school hallways without a care, her father was pulling 70 and 80-hour weeks in hot studio lights. He wasn't some background techie. He was the lighting director for Hollywood's biggest shows, Married with Children, General Hospital, Facts of Life. He lit up the Oscars, for crying out loud. 3 Emmy Awards. 3. That's how good he was. His colleagues adored him. Union legend, early mornings, late nights, always delivering perfection. But behind the achievements was a man exhausted, sacrificing every ounce of himself so his daughter could live comfortably. Instead of retirement savings, he spent everything on Meghan because love made him blind to the idea she might one day forget him. Now, that same man is growing old and frail, surviving on his son's care, while his daughter, the Duchess, can't find the time for a call. 7 years of silence after a heart attack. 7. No card. No birthday message. Nothing. Thomas Jr. can barely hide his disgust. You don't even call the man. Not once. Not one text since his heart attack. It's disgusting. His words hit like bullets. Because, honestly, what kind of daughter abandons her father at his weakest? And it's not just about phone calls. Thomas Sr. has real health struggles, sciatica, leg pain so bad he can barely move, constant discomfort. And through it all, it's Thomas Jr., who's there cooking, cleaning, managing meds, keeping his father alive and comfortable. He even saved up to hire therapeutic massage sessions just to ease the pain. Meanwhile, Meghan was filming charity content about gratitude. She was baking cookies for a camera.
Meghan's brother has come out to debunk some of her stories.
Okay.
Well, not surprising, brothers.
Preaching kindness while ignoring the man who raised her. The contrast is almost unbearable. Thomas Jr. says his dad deserves the most fantastic care in the world. He's right. But instead, it's one son doing the work of 10 people while his sister lives in palatial comfort, pretending the past never existed. And then, Thomas Jr. dropped a bomb about their grandmother, one that shattered Meghan's carefully crafted image as a loving, family-oriented woman. Remember when Meghan told the world she was the primary caregiver for her grandma? Total fabrication. Thomas Jr. said for more than 2 years, he and his dad drove every weekend from Topanga Canyon to Glendale to visit their grandmother in her assisted living home. Week after week, they sat with her for hours, took her to her favorite restaurants, Hamburger Hamlet, Mimi's Cafe, Cantor's Deli. They laughed, shared stories, made her final years meaningful. And Meghan, she showed up 3, maybe 4 times. 4 visits in 2 years. Yet she had the audacity to tell the world she was the devoted granddaughter. Thomas Jr. said it made his blood boil. When you tell the world you took care of my grandmother, that's a lie, and it ticked me off. It's not just lying, it's stealing someone else's love story, taking credit for care and devotion that wasn't hers. Everything out of your mouth has been a lie, he said, furious, since you told them you were an orphan. And that's the recurring theme, rewriting family history to suit her brand, turning real people into ghosts, all for the sake of image. Meghan wasn't the one cleaning her grandmother's room or holding her frail hand. It was Thomas Jr. and their father. The same father she's now pretending doesn't exist. He even said his grandmother would roll over in her grave seeing how Meghan's treated her son. And honestly, it's hard to argue. So what happened to Meghan Markle? What happened to the girl who once adored her dad, who grew up spoiled but loved, who had everything? Thomas Jr. has theories and none of them are pretty. He thinks it started at Northwestern University. What happened in college, he wondered out loud. What happened in Canada on Suits? Because somewhere along the way, the sweet daddy's girl turned into someone cold, strategic, and unrecognizable. Once she landed Suits and got a taste of fame, something snapped.
Squad, because anybody who says anything bad about Meghan, they go after her. Good job, squaddies. Good.
It's like once you got on Suits, you didn't need daddy anymore, Thomas Jr. said. And that's when she started climbing socially, financially, and emotionally right over her family. Then came the social circles, the expensive dinners, the elite parties, and yes, the Soho House crowd, the same exclusive club where she supposedly met Prince Harry, Thomas Jr. Didn't mince words. Did you drink the Kool-Aid at Soho House? Is that where you decided you were too good for your family? Because the Meghan he grew up with, the one feeding ducks in Woodland Hills, laughing in her dad's arms, disappeared, replaced by someone who saw family as disposable. Thomas Jr. says it all comes down to one thing, exposure to a world that made her forget where she came from. When Meghan stepped into real wealth and power, suddenly her hard-working father didn't fit the new narrative. The Emmy-winning lighting director who spent his life behind the camera wasn't glamorous enough for the woman now posing in front of them. And that's when, according to Thomas Jr., the emotional switch flipped. She'd taken everything she could from him, the money, the support, the connections, and once she didn't need him, she just deleted him. You use people, and out they go, he said bluntly. And the saddest part? He's not wrong. Because even their father knew it. Thomas Sr. once told his son, "One day she talked down to me like I was nothing. That's when I knew it was over. That's when I knew she didn't want me in her life anymore." Those words cut deep a father realizing his daughter has no more use for him. Imagine the heartbreak of hearing that after decades of sacrifice. And that brings us to what Thomas Jr. calls the orphan lie, the biggest betrayal of all. The moment Meghan told the world she was an orphan who wished she had a family, Thomas Jr. still can't believe it. She said that after everything Dad did for her, after everything we all gave, that one lie changed everything. It built sympathy, sold the fairy tale, the poor, lonely girl who finally found love in a prince. Except none of it was true. She had a family, a devoted father, a brother, a sister, a network of people who loved her, but they didn't match the glossy brand she was creating, so she erased them. When her relationship with Harry went public, that lie left the entire Markle family exposed. Meghan made sure nobody contacted us or helped us, Thomas Jr. said, because she told them she didn't have a family. Suddenly, the media was tearing into them, with no one guiding or protecting them, because the official story said they didn't exist. But to Meghan, he became a ghost. While she's out here posing for magazines, talking about healing and compassion, Thomas Jr. is living a reality that's breaking him. "I'm the only one who can be here 24/7 with Dad," he said. "This is my life now." And when he says that, you can hear the exhaustion. The man barely sleeps. His entire schedule revolves around making sure his father eats, takes his meds, stays safe. He described the daily grind in detail, cooking real meals, cleaning the apartment, installing grab bars, non-slip mats, everything. He even pays for massages to help his father's sciatica, all while his own finances crumble. And Meghan? She's signing streaming deals, sipping matcha and Montecito, playing perfect mom for Netflix. The contrast couldn't be louder. She could write one check and fix everything, Thomas said, but she won't. He's reached the point where the pain turned into purpose. "I'm doing shows every day or every other day. This is just the beginning of the truth campaign," he said, determined. "People are going to know what really happened." He calls it the Truth Campaign, a mission to remind the world that behind every headline about Meghan's healing journey, there's a father being forgotten and a brother burning side himself out to keep that father alive. "You're the most ridiculous person on the planet if you don't see what time it is," he said. "This is the time to make your dad's life comfortable, and she's wasting it because time is running out." Thomas Sr. isn't getting younger, and his health isn't improving. Every day that passes is another lost chance, another memory she'll never have, another moment that will never come back. Thomas Jr. said it best. She could get in her car right now and be by her father's bedside in 3.5 hours. That's all it would take. But will she? He doesn't think so. Still, he's not giving up. He's finding new ways to cope, using humor, filming videos, trying to laugh again. "If I can make people laugh, maybe they'll listen," he said. "Maybe they'll understand. It's his way of surviving the heartbreak, turning his pain into purpose, his anger into awareness. Because this story isn't just about one family falling apart. It's about a man who gave his daughter everything, and was repaid with silence. Thomas Jr. said it flat out. There's no way anyone could be that soulless, that cold-hearted. And honestly, after everything we've seen, it's hard to disagree. The facts are undeniable. $750,000 spent on her upbringing, 3 Emmy Awards lighting the world's biggest stages, 7 years of silence after a heart attack, 1 son sacrificing his life to care for their father, 1 daughter pretending that father doesn't exist. And while Meghan smiles for cameras, preaching compassion, the truth stands right here, unfiltered, raw, and painful. The orphan who wished she had a family actually abandoned the one she had. The devoted granddaughter barely showed up. The struggling actress grew up surrounded by luxury. The humanitarian ignores the man who made her dreams possible. Thomas Jr. said he's not going anywhere. He'll keep speaking, keep filming, keep showing the world what's really happening because someone has to. "Dad deserves the best care in the world," he said, "and I'll make sure he gets it even if I have to do it alone." And that's where this story leaves us, with one brother fighting exhaustion, one father fading away, and one daughter pretending none of it exists. The truth is out now, and no PR spin, no glossy interview, no royal silence can hide it anymore. So what do you think? Could Meghan ever pick up that phone? Could she look her father in the eyes after everything that's been said? Because as Thomas Jr. keeps reminding us, time is running out, and once it's gone, no amount of palace polish will ever bring it back.